Hello and welcome to this how-to trophies guide for the trophy/achievement Take The Cannoli on Grand Theft Auto Vice City the Definitive Edition. This is one of the most annoying trophies on this game, although it's not as annoying as it was on the original PS2 port for the PS4. So you have to get your criminal rating up to Godfather levels, so here's where you can find it in the stats menu. If you go into pause and then down to stats, it will be right at the top here. So we're going to want to say Godfather at the top, and then we'll know we have completed this trophy. This will definitely be the last trophy that you get in this game before the platinum. I don't think anyone would get it before you actually got to that level. So there is a prerequisite to this, so it is important that you get the 100 packages and unlock the Hunter helicopter from the helipad at Ocean Beach. I did try this with the tank, but I didn't get anywhere near the criminal rating boost as I did from the helicopter, and it wasn't anywhere near as fast, as obviously the tank is quite slow and laborious and has to drive around the streets, whereas the helicopter can simply go over any of the buildings. Now, the reason why we're flying over towards the airport and we're going to fly in front of a specific building is to try and set the spawn point of the vehicles in the Vigilante mission. So when we get here, we're going to start the Vigilante mission. So you can either carry on when you're actually doing the running rampant trophy, if you do use this method, or you can start again if you didn't like where you were spawning those vehicles on that particular mission. So we're going to try and get everything to spawn on the runway. I think it does for a little bit, but then I think it moves to a set location. It appears to be after the first kind of 5 or 6 levels, it then spawns constantly from the same location. So I'll do the first couple of levels and then you'll see it kind of set my level from there. The good thing about this is that they do all spawn together mostly, and if one of them does spawn kind of away from the group, it will tend to eliminate that sometimes from the map. Sometimes it doesn't do that, and sometimes they are kind of stuck in the scenery, so you will have to watch that. We do have a video on running rampant, so if you did watch that video, you'll know very much this methodology that we're using, and that it's not ideal to fly as low as that while I'm using the rockets, because there is a little risk of you blowing yourself up. The problem with this methodology is that you do need quite a bit of patience, and you will need to get to around level 150 in Vigilante mode, and you may even need to do this more than once. The game apparently gets a little bit unstable past 150. I've got as far as 160 previously, and it seemed to be fine, but that may depend on which console you're playing this on. This is the PS5 version, so I would say go as much as you can, because the money really starts to rack up really quickly at the higher levels. So by the time we've got to kind of the level 150 area, you're earning pretty much £1 million for each kill or each set of threats that you eliminate. So at the moment we're only getting £800 for that threat. Like I said, by the end of it, by level 150, you're getting, if not over £1 million, close to £1 million for eliminating each threat. So it also depends how much you've done kind of previously in the game as to where your start point was. As you can see, I was at right hand man, which I think was like 25,000 or in that area. So that depends on how much of this Vigilante missions you'll have to do. To be fair, there are another couple of methods that you can use. The Stallion car park, I can't remember the name of the mission, but you can do that, and there is a way to kind of cheat that, but I don't think the money will go up as quickly as the money goes up from this Vigilante mission. I did play the original PS2 port of this Vice City as well, so the one before the Definitive Edition, and on that particular edition you had to use cheats. You had to stand on the air vents above one of the Hayman condo and basically shove some seaplanes into the garages and keep respawning them, which I think took me about 4 or 5 hours of putting the same cheat in constantly, which wasn't great. So this is definitely a better method than that was, considering that I believe cheats disable trophies anyway, so if you were cheating you wouldn't be able to get any of the trophies, is my understanding. Not that I used cheats on this game, to be honest. I did enjoy the definitive edition without the cheats. Yes, it has its glitches and it has its moments where it's not like the best game in the world, but I still really enjoyed the graphics, and the gameplay is very much the same as it was on the previous edition. Having played the previous edition like right before it, I was lucky enough to have bought the original PS2 ports before they delisted them, before they released this game. I do love a bit of Grand Theft Auto, the old kind of style one, so 3, Vice City and San Andreas. I'd played the PS2 ports on PS4 previous to this definitive edition coming out, and I did play both the PS4 and PS5 versions of the game, so I had plenty of Grand Theft Auto over that period, to be fair. So I would say Vice City is much easier than San Andreas, so I will do some video guides on San Andreas, which will be on the channel at some point after these Vice City ones. As I mentioned, it has taken me a while to get through San Andreas. It's like a 35-hour game or 40-hour game, depending on how it goes, whereas Vice City is more of a kind of 25-hour game, again depending on your skill and if you use guides for certain elements like the rampages or the packages. You can speed up that time a little bit, whereas there are so many collectibles on San Andreas, it's just a bit nuts, really. Like if you have a game that has more than a couple of types of collectibles, I think there's a 4 on San Andreas. Anyway, so as you can see, well, maybe not as you can see, but this is where our spawns will be now, kind of mostly. I won't say permanently, but mostly I'll get them on this bridge here, which is kind of one of the better locations because it's quite exposed, it's quite open, it's not near any other things. There's not a lot of things to run into on this bridge or along that kind of first main road as well. It does also allow you to blow up some boats. I would also advise aiming for any helicopters that come in your path as well, as that will boost your criminal rating quicker. You do get more criminal rating for destroying sort of helicopters and boats than you do actual cars, so I would prioritise those over just general cars. I'd obviously prioritise the actual criminal cars firstly, but then any helicopters and or boats that you could also take out. You can get to a point where you're simply just sat above the spawn point and they will continue to spawn. I think now here you can see that I just destroyed them, they spawned, I destroyed them, but it is hard to keep this helicopter completely level, and also you have to tilt it down to fire, so I found it really hard to just hover there and eliminate threats without having to manoeuvre backwards and forwards up the bridge, and this helicopter is particularly annoying and in my way. And again, don't fire too close to yourself, so if you are going to use the missiles and the helicopter is close to you, you will, although the hunter does have a lot of health, or I found it had a lot of health anyway, and that might have been because I'd done the 100%, and I think doing 100% of the game gives you like double strength health, so I would advise that this is your last trophy, that you have completed the done it all trophy before you go to this. It just gives you an extra little bit of leeway in case you do mess up, hit some of these trees, or not doing it in an area where it's as open as this is. I would say that this method isn't 100% effective, and you will get different spawn points based on it. So I would say if you get to level sort of 6 or 7 and you're not seeing a consistent spawn point in the right place, I would just simply quit the Vigilante mission and restart it. Kind of go back to outside the airport and restart it, because that's the best location for possibly getting an area where you're not going to be like penned in, so you can actually end up with cars just spawning all the time on the runway, which is the ideal place. But I didn't so much mind that. this place that we had. And this is an example of where it's spawned, but they've kind of spawned in a unreasonable location. You will get that as well occasionally. It will delete some spawns if you are lucky. So you'll maybe see you've got like a group of 2 or more together, and then you'll see another like icon on the map, but that icon will actually disappear sometimes. So it seems a little bit inconsistent with how it manages like placing the vehicles in this Vigilante mode. Obviously we've got 6 stars here, so again, don't get too close to the floor, otherwise the tanks can also, although they never fire the turrets in fairness, so that would be another element of the game where if they were actually firing the turrets, but they don't seem to do that, so staying in the air is pretty much what you want to do. So we're looking for the money raises your criminal rating. So here we've got an enormous amount of money, to be fair. It's so many figures that is that billions? I'll work that out maybe, but you're going to want that to keep continuing. As you can see, we're getting over 500,000 towards 750,000 per threat we're eliminating, and we're now at level 118. Also, don't be worried if the timer, so the timer's at 13 minutes now, it will get to, I think it's not like 99 minutes and then it resets to 0. Don't worry about it. If you go beyond the 0, it will go back to 99. I got very worried at one point that it was going to time my mission out, but no, it doesn't do that. So you'll get to a point, it might even be 59 minutes, I'm not 100% sure, but you'll see it reset to kind of 0 minutes and seconds, but that isn't actually true, so don't worry about that. So you can see here, actually it must be 99 because I've got 84 minutes currently in the top right here, so it must be 99 minutes where it rolls over to kind of 0-0 again. You will find yourself hanging about in the same location. As you can see, we're now at level 144 and the money is going up kind of rapidly. That's why you need to be kind of in these later levels, but it does take a little bit of time. I would give yourself a good couple of hours if you're going to try this yourself, just because you probably don't want distractions and you don't know if your spawn point is going to be good the first time. As I said, I was happy with this spawn point. You might want the kind of airport runway, which is the real ideal spawn point, but it's not always. You can't always get it with this method, but it does allow you to get it using this method. So it is a little bit. There's still a little bit of random in there, and it's not like I can just control it and let them spawn in the same place all the time. This is an annoying one where we did have 2 on the bridge, and then we have a third one. I always check the stats to see how much I'm going up in time, so it's free to check, isn't it? I always like to know how far I am away from having to finish the trophy and get that nice new platinum that I was looking for. Although having done this for the PS4 version first, I was kind of aware of how long it would take me. So I'm going to say 500 million at the top right hand corner, which is we're nearly there now. We're basically to the point. I'm at level 160. So again, there are, if you read forums on the internet, there are reports that the game can crash at this later level in the Vigilante. Like I say, I didn't experience it in doing it for PS4 or PS5. I just kept going until the trophy unlocked and just kind of risked it, but that might depend on other factors as to how your PlayStation is running, etc. Mine seems to do a decent job, and I'm on a kind of standard base PS5 for this one. I do have a PS4 Pro, but like I said, I didn't experience any problems on that either. If you do experience problems, obviously just let us know. That one was very lucky. I was very low on that, and I could have easily been I could have easily blown myself up by doing that. So yeah, again, if you are close to the floor, do not fire the missiles. Just use the machine gun and then try and elevate yourself back to a higher plane in order to swoop down and kill the next criminal that you need to do. So we are coming, thankfully, towards the end of this run. So this particular one is stuck behind this house. Like I said, occasionally you'll get these ones that are stuck in various elements of the environment. If they are stuck in somewhere that doesn't look reachable, I would just fire as many missiles and on the machine gun at the building from several angles. I think I did have one where it was stuck in one of the warehouses kind of to the south of this area. I just kind of manoeuvred around firing as many missiles as possible, and eventually it just kind of gave me the kill. Isn't ideal, but again, sometimes this game, as much as I like it, does some strange things. They could say we've got the Take the Cannoli Trophy, and that will also be the Platinum Trophy unlocking. Hopefully this is the same for you. Thank you for watching this How To Trophies guide today. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave us a like, a share, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.